In a small village, there was a man named Arjun. He was strong and kind. He lived a simple life with his wife, Meera. Meera was a gentle woman, full of love. They had been married for many years, and everyone in the village admired their bond. But Arjun held a secret deep within his heart, a secret that would change everything. Arjun was once in love with another woman, Priya. Priya was beautiful and full of life. Arjun loved her deeply, but fate was cruel. Priya fell ill, and despite all efforts, she passed away. Arjun was shattered, and it took him years to find peace again. When he met Meera, he thought he had moved on, but the memory of Priya always lingered. Meera knew nothing of Priya. She believed she was Arjun's first and only love. She adored Arjun with all her heart, never doubting his love for her. She would often prepare his favorite meals and sing the songs he loved. Arjun appreciated Meera, but in the quiet moments, his thoughts would drift back to Priya. One day, a stranger came to the village. She was a young woman named Radha. She had big, curious eyes and a mysterious aura. She seemed familiar, but Arjun could not place where he had seen her before. Radha began asking questions about Arjun's past, and he felt uneasy. Radha's presence started to disturb the peace in Arjun's life. She would appear at the market, near the temple, and even outside Arjun's home. Meera noticed the change in Arjun. He became distant, often lost in thought. She asked him if something was troubling him, but he only smiled and assured her that everything was fine. Days passed, and Radha grew closer to Arjun. She would speak to him about things only Priya would have known. Arjun was puzzled and frightened. How did this stranger know so much about his past? He began to avoid her, but she was persistent. Meera, sensing something was wrong, decided to find out more about Radha. She followed her one evening as she walked towards the old part of the village. Meera watched from a distance as Radha entered an abandoned house. Curiosity got the better of her, and Meera quietly followed her inside. The house was dark and cold. Meera could hear Radha whispering to someone, but she couldn't see who it was. As she moved closer, she realized Radha was talking to a portrait of a woman. Meera's heart skipped a beat when she recognized the face in the painting. It was Priya. Radha turned suddenly, sensing Meera's presence. "Who are you?" Meera asked, her voice trembling. Radha smiled sadly. "I am Priya's sister," she replied. "I came to see the man who once loved her." Meera felt a wave of relief wash over her, but then Radha's expression changed. "Arjun is mine," she whispered, her voice full of pain. "He promised to be with Priya forever, but he broke that promise." Meera was stunned. She didn't know what to say. Radha's eyes filled with tears as she continued. I came to remind him of his vow. He cannot escape it. Fear gripped Mira's heart. She returned home, shaken and confused. She didn't tell Arjun about her encounter with Radha, but she could feel the tension growing between them. Arjun became more distant, lost in memories of the past. One night, Arjun had a dream. He saw Priya standing in a field of flowers, her face sad and longing. Why did you leave me? She asked him. Arjun woke up in a cold sweat, his heart pounding. He couldn't shake the feeling that Priya was trying to reach out to him from beyond the grave. The next day, Arjun decided to confront Radha. He found her by the river, staring into the water. Why are you here? He demanded. Radha looked up at him, her eyes filled with sorrow. I came to take back what was stolen, she replied. Priya's love was pure, but you forgot her. Arjun felt a sharp pain in his chest. I never forgot her, he said, his voice breaking. But life moved on, and I had to move with it. Radha shook her head. You moved on, but she did not. She waits for you, Arjun. Arjun was torn between the life he had with Mira and the memories of Priya. He didn't know what to do. He returned home, his mind in turmoil. Mira sensed his distress, but she didn't press him for answers. She feared what she might hear. As the days passed, Arjun became more withdrawn. He would spend hours staring at Priya's picture, lost in thought. Mira's heart ached as she watched the man she loved slipping away from her. She knew she had to do something before it was too late. One evening, Mira approached Arjun. We need to talk, she said gently. Arjun looked at her, his eyes full of sadness. What is it? He asked. Mira took a deep breath. I know about Priya, she said. Arjun's eyes widened in shock. How do you know? He asked. Radha told me, Mira replied. She is Priya's sister. She says Priya is waiting for you. Arjun was silent for a long time. Finally, he spoke. I loved Priya with all my heart. When she died, I was lost. But then I met you, and you brought light back into my life. I thought I had moved on, but Radha's presence has brought back all those old feelings. Mira's eyes filled with tears. Do you still love her? She asked, her voice trembling. Arjun shook his head. I love you, Mira. But the guilt of forgetting Priya haunts me. I don't know how to let go. Mira took Arjun's hand in hers. You don't have to forget her, she said softly, but you need to let her rest. You need to find peace, for both our sakes. Arjun looked into Mira's eyes, and for the first time in weeks, he felt a glimmer of hope. How do I do that? He asked. Mira smiled sadly. You need to say goodbye, Arjun. Let her go. Arjun knew she was right. The next day, he went to the place where Priya was buried. Radha was there, waiting for him. She handed him a letter written by Priya before she died. With trembling hands, Arjun opened the letter. Priya's words were full of love and sadness. She wrote about how much she loved him and how she wished they could have had more time together. But in the end, she asked him to move on, to find happiness with someone else. Tears streamed down Arjun's face as he read the letter. He felt a weight lifting from his heart. Priya wanted him to be happy, and he knew he could only do that by letting go of the past. Arjun looked at Radha. Thank you for bringing this to me, he said. I will always cherish the memories I have of Priya, but it's time for me to move forward. Radha nodded, her own eyes filled with tears. She loved you very much, she said. I hope you find peace. Arjun returned home to Mira, feeling lighter than he had in years. He took her in his arms and whispered, I love you, Mira. Thank you for helping me find my way back to you. Mira held him close, her heart full of love. She knew that the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but as long as they were together, they could face anything. As Arjun lay down that night, he felt a sense of calm wash over him. For the first time in a long time, he slept peacefully, knowing that Priya was finally at rest. But the story doesn't end here. Love is a complex and beautiful thing, full of twists and turns. Arjun and Mira's journey was just beginning, and there were still many challenges ahead. Would their love be strong enough to withstand the trials that lay ahead? Only time would tell. In the quiet of the night, as Arjun and Mira slept, a soft breeze blew through the village. It carried with it the whispers of the past, reminding them that love, in all its forms, is eternal. What do you think? Is it possible to truly move on from a love that once consumed your soul, or does it always leave a mark that never fades? Share your thoughts in the comments below. There is a small village near a big city. The village is quiet and peaceful. The houses are small. People know each other. In the village there is an old house. It looks dark and lonely. No one lives there now. People say the house is empty, but some say it is not empty. Once there was a girl named Lily. She was young, kind, and had bright eyes. Her eyes were like stars. Lily lived in that old house with her mother. Her mother was old and weak. She always sat by the window, looking outside. She waited for Lily. But now, Lily is alone. One day, Lily went to the city. She said to her mother, I will come back soon. Her mother smiled, but she looked worried. She said, Be careful, My dear Lily promised I will be safe and I will come back. Days passed, then weeks. Lily did not return. Her mother sat by the window every day. She looked outside, waiting. The village people said, "Lily will come back," but Lily's mother kept waiting, day and night. One cold night, Lily's mother closed her eyes and did not open them again. She waited too long. Her heart was tired, but her love for Lily was strong. She wanted to see her daughter one last time. Her spirit stayed in the old house, waiting for Lily to return. The villagers felt sad. They said, "The poor mother. She waited too long, but no one knew that her spirit was still there, waiting, hoping." The old house looked darker now. No one dared to go near it. They said, "It is not safe. There is something there." Years passed, and the village changed. New people came and went, but the old house stayed the same, dark and quiet. Some nights people heard soft crying from the house. They whispered, "It is the spirit of Lily's mother. She is still waiting." One evening, a young man came to the village. His name was Ben. He was tired from his journey. He looked for a place to rest. He saw the old house and felt something pulling him. He asked a villager, "Can I stay there?" The villager looked afraid. "No," he said. "That house is not safe. There is a spirit." Ben was curious. He wanted to see for himself. That night, he went to the old house. It was cold and dark inside. He felt a chill on his skin. Suddenly, he heard a soft voice, "Lily, where are you?" Ben's heart raced. He felt afraid but also sad. The voice was full of love and pain. He whispered, "Who are you?" The voice replied, "I am a mother, waiting for my daughter." Ben felt tears in his eyes. He said, "I am sorry. Your daughter is not here." The voice became quiet, like a whisper in the wind. Ben stayed in the house that night. He heard the voice again and again, always calling, always waiting. He felt a deep sadness. In the morning, he went back to the village. He asked the old people what happened to Lily. They told him the story. Ben decided to go to the city. He thought, "Maybe I can find Lily. Maybe she is still there." He traveled for days. The city was big and full of people. He asked around, but no one knew Lily. His hope started to fade. One day he met an old woman. She looked at him and said, "You are looking for someone?" Ben nodded. She said, "I know her. She came here many years ago." Ben's heart beat fast. "Where is she now?" he asked. The old woman looked sad. She left this world. She never went back to the village. Ben felt a deep pain in his chest. He thought of the mother's spirit, still waiting. He said, "I must go back and tell her." He returned to the village with a heavy heart. He went to the old house. It was quiet, but he felt the spirit was still there. He said softly, "I found Lily." "She is gone." There was silence, then a soft cry. The spirit said, "Thank you. I can rest now." Ben felt a warm breeze, and he knew the spirit was at peace. He walked out of the house, tears in his eyes. He knew he had done something good. The village felt different now. The dark house looked calm. The spirit of a loving mother had finally found peace. Ben felt the weight of the story on his heart. He sat on the steps of the old house, looking at the sky. The stars were bright, like Lily's eyes. He thought about how love could be so strong, even after death. Days passed, and Ben could not forget the spirit of the mother. He started to think about his own life. He realized he, too, was always searching for something he had lost. Maybe it was love, maybe it was peace, or maybe it was a place to call home. The villagers noticed Ben stayed close to the old house. They asked him, "Why do you stay there?" "The spirit is gone now." Ben smiled softly and said, "I feel there is still something here." The villagers did not understand, but they left him alone. One rainy night, Ben heard a sound again. It was different this time. Not a cry, but a soft humming. It was a lullaby. He listened closely. The sound was coming from the old house. His heart raced. Is the spirit still here? He wondered. He stood up and walked inside. The house was cold, but the humming grew louder. It was a gentle, sad song. Ben followed the sound up the stairs to a small room. There, he saw a faint light, like a shadow of a person sitting by the window. "Mother," he whispered. The humming stopped. The shadow turned slowly toward him. A soft voice spoke. "Why are you here, my child?" Ben felt a chill, but he spoke with a gentle tone. "I wanted to know if you found peace." The shadow sighed. "Peace. I waited so long for Lily. My heart still waits." Ben felt tears in his eyes again. "But Lily is gone," he said softly. "She can never come back," the shadow replied. "I know, but my love for her keeps me here." Ben understood the pain in those words. He asked, "Is there anything I can do to help you find peace?" The shadow seemed to think. After a long silence, it said, "Tell me a story. A story about love that does not end." Ben thought for a moment. He began to tell a story of a young girl who loved her mother very much, a girl who always dreamed of returning home but never got the chance. He spoke of the mother's endless wait, her hope, and her love that stretched beyond life and death. As Ben spoke, he felt the air grow warmer. The shadow listened quietly, sometimes nodding, sometimes sighing. When he finished, the room was silent. The shadow seemed to glow softly. "Thank you," it whispered. "Now I know my love was not in vain." Ben felt a warmth in his chest. He knew the spirit was finally ready to move on. But before the shadow faded, it said, "Remember this, my child love is never lost. It stays even in the quietest places." And with that, the shadow slowly disappeared, leaving only the soft hum of the lullaby in the air. Ben stayed in the village for a few more days. He felt a sense of calm, a sense of purpose. He decided it was time to move on, just like the spirit. The villagers thanked him for bringing peace to the old house. They believed the spirit would no longer haunt the nights. But Ben knew it was more than that. It was a story of love that could not be broken, not by time, not by distance, not even by death. As he left the village, he looked back one last time. The old house stood still and quiet, like a guardian of memories. True love is like a flame, it never truly goes out. It burns softly, even in the darkest moments. Have you ever felt a love so strong that it stayed with you, even when the person was gone? Share your story.